Hey Donald, please check my events for today and please send an email to Adrian telling him that I want to schedule a meeting with him for 4 p.m. and please ask him to bring some notes for our meeting. I've sent an email to Adrian requesting the meeting at 4 p.m. and asked him to bring notes. What is going on, everybody? It is Hugo Wong here. Welcome to a brand new video, and in today's video we'll be going into a full n8n tutorial on how to build AI automations and AI infrastructures and sell these to businesses, whether that's a local business or whether that's an online business, because 77% of businesses actually feel like they should be using AI, but they haven't actually used it yet. So they're actually clueless on the tasks that they could be automating, and these tasks could be making them a lot of money. And more importantly, what's more important to these business owners is saving them time. And just for proof here, we've been able to make over $3.5 million within the past 3 years selling AI infrastructures and selling marketing automations to businesses. And in the past year, we've done over $930,000 in total revenue. I'm able to also be fortunate enough to be awarded the 7-figure 2 Comma Club award for making over $1 million with a website selling AI automations. And more importantly, today we'll be teaching you how to build these automations in n8n, which is blowing up at the moment. See n8n here, it's the blue kind of graph here. Compared to, let's say, other AI tools and automation tools like Zapier, with you guys probably know that as well, but n8n is actually blowing up. So this is a huge opportunity for you to learn this platform because you don't have to hire developers anymore. You don't have to code it yourself. So we're going to dive deep into how to actually build this yourself and how to, more importantly, make money from it, so that you're not only doing this for yourself and automating tasks in your own life, but you're also building these and selling these as a package to businesses, so you can make upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 on the low end every single month. You can do this completely remotely. All you need is an n8n account, and you literally just build this and sell this to businesses. They want to use AI, but they just don't know how to, or they just haven't got the time or the workforce to do it. But now everyday people just like you and me can do this. All right, so let's run through a quick demo so far on what this workflow actually does. All right, so we're gonna go to Telegram here. Hey Donald, please check my events for today and please send an email to Adrian telling him that I want to schedule a meeting with him for 4 p.m. and please ask him to bring some notes for our meeting. All right, so I sent Telegram the message. We're gonna click on test workflow here. So it's gonna go over and pull in data, and it's gonna first transcribe that audio file into speech with OpenAI. It's gonna feed that information into the AI agent, which we call Donald. Donald is then gonna pull the tools and it's gonna execute a chat here. So let's see what he says. All right, so today's scheduled meeting from 10:30 to 11:30, meeting with Sarah and Adrian at 3. I've sent an email to Adrian requesting the meeting at 4 p.m. and asked him to bring notes. So let's go over to here. It says that our meeting at 4 p.m. with Adrian, I'd like to schedule a meeting with you at 4 p.m. Boom, 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 boom. And the email is sent automatically with n8n. So awesome. Workflow has been executed properly. All right, so this only took around 30 minutes to build up. So we're gonna dive into step by step on how to do this, and more importantly, how to make money from this. So you actually sell this to businesses, so then they pay you $5,000 to $10,000 per package or per month. So the first trigger, what we want to do is we want to make a Telegram chat trigger. So what that means is that this workflow will automatically trigger once we've actually sent a message through Telegram. All right, so we're just going to type in Telegram here, go over to triggers here, and we're going to click on message. All right, so that's pretty much all we're going to do, and that's the trigger node here. Please connect it to your Telegram account and make sure the trigger is on message. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this kind of documentation here on how to actually set this up. So if you haven't set this up yet, please go over to this link here. This link will be available in my free school community. And all you have to do here is go over to Telegram, go over to BotFather and actually install BotFather into your Telegram account, enter a new bot, and then just name your bot and then make sure you have that API key, and you just paste that API key into here. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, not many steps in this node so far. The next step is pretty much identifying what are the different inputs that you're gonna be putting into Telegram. So the first thing is that you could either send an audio note, or the second trigger is that you could also send a text, right? So you want to be able to separate and make those two things into one, right? So if you send them an audio note, what you have to do is that the audio note is going to go through this route, and Telegram is going to get that audio file. It's going to download that audio file, and then that audio file is then going to be transcribed into text form. And after the text form has been generated, it's then going to feed that text input into our AI agent, which is then going to decide what tools to call. It might call the contacts tool, and then it might call the create contact, or it might call the get emails, and then the send email, and then get email again. So the AI agent is then able to decide what type of tools, and as well as what order it's going to execute and call. So let's go over to the switch node first, because this is the next logical step here. We're going to go over to mode. We're going to click on rules here. And for routing rules, we want to pull the JSON message.voice file ID. So what we want to do is we essentially want to get the voice file ID. So all you guys got to do is copy and paste this into the node here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on if the string exists, right? So if a voice file ID exists, then we're going to rename it into an audio. All right, so we want to make sure that this is also very clear. If we send a voice file, that means this switch is able to tell, okay, this is an audio file. All right, so if it is a text file, right, we're gonna put this piece of code here, $JSON.message.text. And then if this exists, we're gonna go to string here, exists. So if that exists, then we're gonna rename that into text. All right, because those are essentially the two inputs that you're gonna be telling Telegram. It's either you send them a voice file or you send them a text. Right, so we're going to rename that into text and audio. So then there's going to be two routes now, audio and text, right? So if it's audio, we're going to go over to tier. The next tab is pretty much going to go over to Telegram, right? After we go to Telegram, we're going to go get audio or get a file. All right, that's pretty much all we're going to do. We're going to click on here, Telegram, resource file, get file. And we pretty much want to download that JSON.message.voice file ID. We're literally just downloading that. And this is what it looks like, right? We can download that and make sure you guys execute the previous nodes if you guys have no data showing here. All right. So after that, we're going to go over to speech to text, because we're going to go over to the OpenAI node now, because we're going to go transcribe that recording into text. All right, so you guys might be wondering, why don't I use Anthropic? Why don't I use other LLMs to do this? Because OpenAI is probably the best one to do this right now. We're going to then use Anthropic here as our LLM to determine what to output. All right, so later on we'll be going through the Donald AI agent. But for here, we're also going to take a look at what this is. All right, so if a text file gets inputted, right, this is called a manual mapping. We're going to click on mode, manual mapping. And then we're going to paste this text right here. All right, so that's pretty much all we're going to do for the edit field, because we want to make sure that the Donald AI agent is receiving a text input file. All right, so after we've actually set all this up, we want to then add an AI agent. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to click on here, click on advanced AI, click on AI agent, go to here, and rather than saying connected chat trigger node, we're going to click on define below. All right, make sure that you guys rename to your agent's name as well. And we're just going to put JSON.text here. All right, that's all we're going to do. And make sure that you click on expression, not fixed. Make sure you go on expression and paste this piece of code here. All right, so you might be wondering what this is right here. We're going to go over to system message and make sure we add a system message here. We're going to expand this. As you guys can see, this is the prompt that I'm giving Donald, which is the AI agent. So we're pretty much giving the AI a prompt, right? You are an exceptionally capable personal assistant designed to be the only AI agent I'll ever need. Today's date is now. Make sure that you guys put this date here so that AI knows where to pull the date. n8n is actually really good in that, because it has its own database, which is able to just type in, curly brackets, $sign now, and it's able to pull in the current date and current time, right? You want to give it some roles and rules as well. So what are the core capabilities? Personal information management, we want to fetch emails, we want to look at tasks, we want to create tasks. Task management, we want to go to Airtable to search tools and pull data in. So in just a second, I'll be explaining what Airtable is and how we're actually just hosting our data there rather than having to rely on simple memory. We just post all that data into a database in Airtable, which is then able to, so the AI is then able to call that data. So let's say you want to message Adrian or you want to message James. Donald is able to then decide where that is, which is the contacts tool, and then is able to pull in, create contact or message contact using its own decision making. Let's go back to the prompt here. Make sure that you guys outline what you want that tool to do. Pretty much you want to spend some time on creating a good prompt here. If you guys want to have this exact prompt, you guys can join my free school community and get that free prompt in the link down below. Also guys, if you want me and my team to help you scale and start your first AI infrastructure and AI automation business, selling these AI tools to businesses for upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 every single month, then make sure you click on the link down in the description below to book a call with my team and I so we can help you build this business from the ground up and accelerate that process rather than waiting for everyone to catch up. All right. So after we've actually typed in that prompt here, we're going to then go over to the end node. All right. So what we're going to do is also we're going to click on Telegram. So Telegram again, and this time it's going to be called send message. The operation is send message because we want Telegram to send us a message back, right? We're going to click on resource. I'm going to click on message. Operation is going to be send message, which is kind of here. And we want to be able to pull in the chat ID. All right. So how do you know what the chat ID is? Well, the chat ID, all you have to do is scroll down, go to schema here, scroll down. You can see that the chat node is here and the ID is underneath. So all we got to do is pull that into here. All right. That's literally what we're going to do. And that's the chat ID. All right. So that's pretty much what we're going to do here for the Telegram node. And then in terms of the tools, let's go over to tools for a second here. So the chat model we're using is Anthropic. So I paid $5 to get an API key. So it's pretty simple. You guys just can use that. We're using Cloud 3.7.sonnet, which is pretty self-explanatory, pretty strong itself. And in terms of memory, we set up a simple memory here where we also need to pull in the chat ID so the chat is able to look at the chat and see what you sent them before and use that to better come up with a better response for your future texts, right? So for the key here, you want to also go over to expression and also make sure it's defined below here. You guys can just follow along, copy and paste, save this video if you guys want to follow along. And you guys want to also go back to chat ID here. And we will pretty much want to paste that same piece of text that we did from the simple memory from the Telegram ID here. So here, boom, we just copy that, go over to here, and we just paste that. All right, pretty much the same thing. Right, and that's will enable us to come up with a simple memory or a buffer memory. All right, so now let's take a look at some tools. All right, so we have a get email tool, which enables the AI to look at our emails and get as many emails as we want. So we're going to go over to Gmail account, a link to Gmail account, which is pretty easy to do. Click on set automatically. Then we're going to go for resource, click on message. And for operation, we're going to click on get many, and we can get at least 20 emails. You can make it, it's usually set at 50, but I'm just going to click on 20 here just so that it doesn't run through the data credits. All right, so on the filters, it's really important that you click on label names or IDs and click on down below here. You want to click on inbox and unread. All right, it wants to look at the inbox and look at the unread messages. All right, and for read status, you want to click on unread emails only. And that's pretty much what we need to do for that. And we want to copy this piece of text for received after, because it's then able to look at your data and see when it's received after. All right, so that's pretty much what we need to get for the send email and the get email tool. For the send emails, if you guys want to run through that really quick, Gmail account, of course, connected to that, set automatically. Resource is message and send, so it's able to send emails for us. And to and subject, we want to just pretty much define automatically by model, and the email type will be text rather than HTML. All right, we want to make sure it's text, and we also want for the message, we want to define automatically by model. So then AI is going to be automatically determining what the sender name is, what the subject is, and what the body of the email is going to be. All right, so now we want to also input some contacts, right? We want to be able to go to Airtable here and have a list of contacts, so then we're able to say, hey, if we want to schedule a meeting with Sarah, n8n is able to do that. All right, so we're going to go over to contacts, and we're going to click on plus here. We're going to go to Airtable. Boom, Airtable tool, and pretty much it gives us the account here. So pretty much we just need to connect our account, set automatically get from list. So we're going to click on our database, which is Donald. From list is going to be our contacts, right? And then that's pretty much it. That's all we need to do for the Airtable contacts. We also want to click on return all because we want to get all the contacts from that list rather than just one or two, right? And also create contact, which is able to create a contact for us. If you have a new contact, it's able to create one for us. We can also go over to create contact here, so it's able to create contacts for us. So we want to just follow this specific flow here. We want to go over to set automatically, go to record, go to create here for the operation, and from list will be Donald, and the table will be contacts. We want to map each column manually, right? And for the values to send, you guys want to just copy these 3 pieces of code here. And that's all we have to do to set up this ultimate agent in n8n. So then we're able to pretty much automate our tasks and, more importantly, sell this system to other businesses online to make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 every single month, just like my agency has been doing. We also run an AI automation agency. So if you guys want more help in scaling and starting your own AI automation agency and business from ground up, then we'll be happy to help you guys. So all you have to do is click on the link down below to see if you qualify for a spot within our inner circle. So then we're able to help you build these systems and teach you guys how to sell these automations for at least 5 to 10 grand every single month. So if you enjoyed this video so far, please give this video a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm super excited to see you in the next video.